we're going to have a look at solving some parallel line problems. So we'll have a look at this first one. I've got an angle of 118 degrees given to me, and I've got a set of parallel lines, and here we have a transversal cutting through the parallel lines. So if I think about the relationships I know about, I know that these two angles are equal because they're vertically opposite. And I also know that angle of 118 and angle 1 are corresponding angles. They're in the same position but on different lines. So that means that angle 1 is going to be 118 degrees. Now angle 2 is an alternate angle. It's in the opposite position, so it's vertically opposite, but on the other line, which makes it alternate. So vertically opposite, but on the other line. So angle 2 is also 118 degrees. All right, let's have a look at the second problem. So I've got a set of parallel lines, and I'm looking to find the angle x. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in another parallel line. Okay, so now I've got 3 parallel lines, and I'm going to see if I can extend my transversals just a little bit. Now I'm going to have a really close look at what I've got. I've got a set of parallel lines here, which means that here I have 2 angles that are co-interior. So this part of x here must add with 155 degrees to equal 180, which makes that part there be 25 degrees. And if I have another look, I've got another set of parallel lines. So here I've got another pair of co-interior angles, which means that this part of x must add with 110 degrees to equal 180. So it must be 70 degrees. So I can say x equals 95 degrees. It's really a good idea when you're solving problems to make sure that you give your final solution, particularly if there's a pronumeral used in the question, that you are explicit in your answer and you say x equals 95 degrees or y equals or b equals or whatever the term is. Okay, let's have a look at a more common problem. All right, this one looks pretty nasty. It's not all that bad. The first thing I'm going to do is to extend my transversal lines. Okay, so I'm going to extend this one. That's not really straight, is it? I'm going to rewind. Let's see if I can rub that out. Oh, yep. Let's try again. Okay, so I'm going to extend this transversal line. Hallucinate that that's straight. I'm going to extend this one. That's my parallel line. So I've got 2 parallel lines. I've got a nice long transversal chopping through, and I've got another transversal here. So I've got 2 transversals that could chop through. Okay, let's look for some relationships. I'm going to go through and work out as many of the missing angles as I can, not just the ones that I need, but all of these ones that I haven't been given, because those clues will help me work out the ones that I do need. All right, so I've got an angle here that's on a straight line, so these 2 angles must be supplementary. They need to add to 180, which makes this one in here 20 degrees. And now if I look again, I've got a triangle. So 20 plus 60 is 80. So this one here must be 100 degrees. Let's see if I can write that in 100, which makes this one that's vertically opposite also 100, which means that this one here must be 80 and 80. Okay, let's have another look. Now I'm looking for some relationships to see if I've got any angles that will pair up. And I can see that this angle here is the same as this angle here. And where else does that pair of angles occur? It occurs up here on my other parallel line. So these angles and these angles are equivalent. So that means Y is also 20 degrees. P is 20 degrees. Which means that R and P add to 180. So R must be 160 degrees. Which means this one over here is also 160 degrees. Okay, now I've only got X and S to work out. If I have a look in the middle here, I can see I've got another triangle. So I have to add to 180. So 100 plus 20 is 120. X must be 60 degrees. Which means that S must add with 60 to become 90. So S must be 30. Okay, and as my solution, I'm going to explicitly write out the values of everything I need to find. So I can say P equals 20 degrees, R equals 160 degrees, S equals 30 degrees, Y equals 20 degrees, and X equals 60 degrees. And that's my final solution.